Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's been a while. We're going to be doing a little different series this time. We purchased a little race car called a Formula V, if you're not familiar with these. This one hasn't seen a track in quite a long time, so we're going to restore it. We'll take you along for the ride. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and check out the videos as we restore this thing. If you've got any feedback, as always, leave the comments down below. Like and subscribe, but here it is. So we brought it home last night. It was quite an adventure. I posted the video of the trailer hitch coming off. The one that we had, unfortunately, I only had a 2-inch ball, and this is one that I bought later. The gentleman we acquired this from, who used to race this, happened to have a 1 7/8, and he gave us his, and I didn't think much of it. These are steel, usually very well made. Anyways, the bolt that holds it in place sheared off. This thing came off. I posted the video earlier, you can check that out. But here she is in all its glory, and doesn't look like much right now, but we'll get this thing restored, fully racing. If you're not familiar with V's, they are basically based on a VW bug from the 70s or 60s. I'm not sure which one. The whole front end is from a bug. The brakes are from a bug. This one does have a dual master cylinder setup because you can adjust the front rear brake bias. This one was in a flood in Carolina, if you guys remember, when that whole, I think it was Helene, the storm that went through Carolina. I don't remember exactly which one, but his whole shop, he had an amazing shop with a bunch of race cars, got flooded. This trailer, which he included in the deal, was custom built. We're going to restore this whole thing and make it really nice. Here's the part that most of you care about, and that's also a VW power plant. The transaxle, the motor, all come from a VW, which is really cool. This is the 1200cc, so they're about 60 horsepower when tuned correctly. The V weighs about 960 pounds, somewhere around there, because the minimum, I think the minimum weight's 1,075 with the driver, so it's probably going to be about 900 maybe, depending on how much the driver weighs. Sometimes if you're underweight, you cannot ballast. Anyhow, what's really cool with these normally, the motor on a VW, if you're not familiar, is usually here, and that's why you have a lot of that pendulum weight, especially in cornering. They're not great because that weight can throw it off balance really easily, since you have the motor over the rear axles, right? Porsche has figured that out. They do a really great job. But with these, the guy that figured this out, he basically flipped it backwards so you could have a true mid-engine race car. And they changed the gearing on these. I forgot what he did. Again, all the Formula experts can correct me, but he basically figured out how to reverse something in the transmission so that you would have, instead of one reverse, you would have forward gears now, so that you could rotate the engine around. So really cool stuff. But we'll go through and walk you, take you guys along for the ride on restoring. We do have the body panels and everything. It's pink, as you can see, because his wife was the last one that raced it. It was a family affair. They had, I believe, his sister, himself. They had 6 V's, and this was the last of the 2 of the 6 that they have left. So we're gonna wash it. First thing we're gonna do, we have a ton of parts in the SUV, which I'll show you guys here in a second. When the trailer came off, by the way, you can see the damage that it did right there. Not too bad. I'm thankful. It just cracked the bumper a little bit there. Not a big deal, but we're safe, and that's the most important part. There are all the parts. We have a ton of parts on this thing. The Jeep is full. We couldn't even fit most of the parts, but we've got body panels, which we're gonna redo the body panels. I like to do them in carbon fiber if we can, so we're just gonna use these probably as molds. They're no good, they're cracked. And anyhow, let's wash it and see how she looks, because this is all mud from the flooding. Basically, it was underwater, so we'll have to go through the motor, rebuild it. But it's a VTEC motor, which is nice, not Honda VTEC, as some of you guys know. So all right, let's clean it. All right, here we go. First wash since the flood. Wow, that mud is on there pretty good. Look at that. It was only 2 days, by the way. It wasn't on there very long. Very pink. I have the pressure washer on low settings, so I don't, Alright, get that. Man, that mud is on there really good. Look at that. It's caked on there. We drove it in the rain and it wouldn't take the mud off, and the pressure water, that thing tank's coming out of the side. The mud coming out pretty good. Man, that pink is nice. I don't know, maybe we should leave it on there. You can see these look pretty new. The master cylinder. Tires are shut. Cover the carburetor answer. Got that nice frame. Don't have the high-end frame filter, as you guys know. It's shooting up pretty good. That's still some mud, man. Power from some of this stuff, clean it nice. I gotta be careful with these. I don't want to damage the fins. But we'll probably need them. We got a lot of the mud out. Looking pretty good. We can actually see stuff now. I don't know how that fuse cell is, but they got a lot of water in it. Motor's starting to look pretty good. A lot cleaner, of course. And again, guys, keep in mind the motor has to come off, probably be completely rebuilt because it probably has plenty of water in there. We'll do that next. We'll take the motor off and turn it manually and get the plugs off of there, see if there's water in the cylinders, but this is going to have to be completely rebuilt. Same with the transmission. Guys, I don't even know if you can see us. It got dark on us really quickly, but she looks substantially better. And again, it's nighttime, so you're probably not going to be able to see very much, but we got a lot of the mud out, at least a couple kilos, a couple pounds. Motor's looking pretty good. And again, all that stuff has to come apart, but we can actually see stuff which we couldn't see before. It's pretty nice. Well, guys, it got dark, so we couldn't show you, but we did clean some of the body. And there's a mess in here. We've got a bunch of body panels. A ton of body work that the previous owner gave us, but she's looking a lot better. We got better tires there that we're going to swap these out for. Again, this is just rolling for now until we get it all restored. Got to go through all the systems, cables, but it's looking a lot better. Fuse cell, we got to check the fuse cell.